We do our best to stop your doom scroll every single morning and give you a nice little story to start the day. We got a special guest in the studio, too, this morning. It's always my pleasure to bring someone on from the Sanford Police Department who's been making some big headlines in the last couple of days. I want to welcome Sergeant Eddie Murphy to the program. You may have seen on the very active Sanford Police Department page a story about a traffic stop a couple of days ago, but it was a little different. Sergeant Murphy, can you take us through what that traffic stop was all about?
Yes, absolutely. Doing a midnight patrol, generally patrol the streets, looking for folks hopefully doing the right thing. Stopped a female for going a little bit over on Main Street, and you know, in my 15 years in law enforcement here, you've got all the excuses. Some off the wall stuff.
What is the strangest excuse that you've heard?
I would say the most recent one was the bathroom and shaking, things like that.
Does that work?
To some extent. I tend to sift it out to figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, you have a smell to it.
Yeah, right. The smell is definitely a given. Yeah. I stopped this female, and it was a regular traffic stop. Went up to talk to her, grabbed her information, and she was very polite and says, yes, I'm a midwife, and I'm heading to a birth right now. And I was like, well, that's a first.
Wow. Yeah.
So with that, she seemed like she was obviously in an urgent to get somewhere. So I went back, ran her information pretty quickly, and then got her on her way. So
for those that don't know, a midwife is someone who works outside of traditional health care.
Yes.
And they deliver children at home.
Yes, do home births, yes.
That's awesome. So so wait a minute, how many years have you been doing this?
15 years and counting.
And how many in Sanford?
15 years.
Wow. Well, so are you from Maine?
I am not. Originally from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Well, thanks. 15 years later. Thanks for bringing the weather with you. Everybody's going to be complaining to Sergeant Eddie Murphy this morning.
Yes.
So what is it about Maine that brought you here?
The weather. I was hoping for some cold. I'm not a fan of the heat. That's why I ran away from Florida.
Yeah.
So just it's the lifestyle, kind of laid back and chill.
Yeah.
Not as much hustle and bustle.
So do you like this hot weather that we're having today?
Absolutely not. Not with my gear on. It's like at an extra 10 degrees with all the gear on. I would say, depending on what some individuals carry for gear, but anywhere from 20 to 25 pounds extra that you're carrying.
Jeez.
With the long pants on.
Right. So we go outside with short pants and T-shirts, and we're really, really hot today.
Yeah.
A lot of our listeners are obviously, we're telling them all morning to stay cool, stay hydrated. But what if they do run into issues? What's the first thing that someone who gets in a little distress today should do?
Time is not on your side when it comes to heat casualties, so best thing to do is call 911. We'll get there and we'll assess. If you need to get transported, we'll transport you. Generally try to stay hydrated as best as you can, but if you start to feel nauseous, you get headaches, those are signs of heat issues that's going to happen. So definitely call us. We'll show up and we'll assess, and then we'll make that determination. But don't hold off.
Right? Yeah. Start with 911. Err on the side of caution.
Exactly.
And say I'm someone who's walking around today, and I see a pet in a vehicle, and that person, either their vehicle shut off or the windows are rolled up, and you just want to go full vigilante in there because you want to rescue that animal.
Yeah.
That isn't the best thing to do. What would you recommend in that situation?
I would recommend, once again, give us a call. Our ACO is on Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends. And she patrols just like the patrol officers, so she's out and about. So she can get there in a pretty quick time after you're calling. So don't hold off. Don't try to break the windows. Make that be your last resort. Give us a call. We got patrol officers, and we have good working hands with the tow truck companies around town that can assist us and get into a vehicle without causing damage. Obviously, if the pet is in severe distress, just give us a call.
Yeah.
And we'll make that determination.
And Sanford is a very small-ish area.
Yeah.
We're fairly narrow, so you could probably get there in a very, very short amount of time.
Less than 3 or 4 minutes, we'll be there.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Sergeant Murphy, thank you so much for your time. I know you're on duty right now, and you're wrapping up your shift. So thank you for taking time out to connect with us here this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We're back to the music faster after these. It's Your County's Morning Show on Seco.
Connect with York County's Morning Show at 324-1220. 324-1220. Or the open mic feature on the Seacoast Oldies app.
Come on now, wake up.